of it, and then, you know, progress over to Dawnstar. Alright, moving right along. The next we have is a particularly well-defended Serpent Stone. Now, this one is a couple islands off out into this kind of far reach of the map. Again, this is close to Winterhold. It's the very top northeast corner of the map. And the clouds are kind of getting in the way right now. But you can see that it's out there on this little island that it's its own. Decent little diagonal from a boat you'll find. It's kind of easy to find out there. I think you can see the icon for this boat from anywhere on the shore, and you can use the boat icon to progress to the Serpent Stone. Of course, the boat has enemies that you probably don't want to run into, but even more noteworthy is that I don't know if this is always going to happen, but I particularly found an ice wraith guarding this, and I'm an archer character, and ice wraiths are really tough to hit with arrows. So if you have any kind of fire magic, anything like that, or I guess if you're just a warrior, it's probably a little easier just to whack whatever's in front of you, then you might want to, you know, think about you're going to be battling an ice wraith up here. The Serpent Stone gives you the ability to use a ranged paralyzing poison on opponents. And again, I believe that this is one of the one-time-a-day uses. And the paralyze lasts 5 seconds. It looks like it has a damage effect, too. Interesting that it doesn't mention that here on the screen. And that's 25 points of damage. Just to let you guys know where I get all these figures, I have the Prima guide. I don't necessarily try to hide it. I don't really mention it real often, but I use it for certain statistical things, not necessarily quest-based information. Spoilers. I don't like to spoil the game for myself. This would be used, this is probably another one of the ones that I mentioned, like the Apprentice Stone, that you would come pick up for like a one-time boss battle. If there was a dragon you had found and died to a couple times, or maybe on your mage quest there's some Draugr protecting, you know, the last bit of the quest. This is probably one of the stones, the nice little paralyze effect, you could come get and help take that fight out. Alright, so next we're going to come way down south to the Atronach Stone. Now, the Atronach Stone is in this basin that you see over here that's just south of Windhelm and just north of Riften. I ran to it from Riften, but that's because I kind of already had this shore stone point, so that made it a real quick fast travel. Iverstead probably wouldn't be a horrible one either if you've already done the Way of the Voice quests, because you can kind of come down this mountain easily. The Atronach Stone, though, is right out in the middle of kind of a low marshland, and pretty much from any angle it's easy to get to, because it's just kind of up on this this little outcropping here. You can pretty easily get around. There's no huge cliff to worry about. And the Atronach Stone allows you to absorb incoming spell damage and give you magicka, but you regenerate magicka more slowly. And let's see if there's any specific. I believe it's 50 points of extra magicka, 50% spell absorb, negative 50% magicka regen. So not only do you absorb incoming spell, you have a higher base magicka by 50 as well. So that's basically the High Elf and Breton racials for the cost of 50% magic regen, which can kind of be offset by robes and such. You could look at it as the robes really stack and make that magic regeneration better. But if you're looking for the damage reduction as well, if you find yourself fighting casters a lot, this is a kind of stone that I think you might be good to just run with all the time. And I'll get into that in a second when I talk about the skill stones again and a specific about them. So again, this is in a pretty easy spot right out here in the middle of the marsh. One pain in the butt thing to note about this one is every time I've been to it, there's a dragon kind of overhead, but every time I've been to it, I've had trouble with some enemies somewhere near me that disallow me to fast travel away from it. So I don't know, it's just kind of a pain in the butt, having to walk away from it or sneak away from it a ways. Let's see, the 11th stone is going to be the Shadowstone. The Shadowstone is almost directly south of Riften. So you kind of can't see it because the clouds again. Apologies for the bad weather on my video. What's that all about, Skyrim? There's a little bit of a hill here though that cuts right under Nightingale Hall. Cuts right under it and right over the stone. You got to come a little south of the stone to go up the path. But it's pretty easy to get to. The Shadowstone gives you the power to turn invisible for an extended period. The extended period is 60 seconds. Again, once a day kind of ability. I don't know how often you get stealth missions in the Thieves Guild or in the Dark Brotherhood, but if you fail a mission a couple times and you're really trying to get a stealth accomplishment on it, if you get some bonus for it or whatever, you get some bonus for not killing anyone, then this may be the kind of stone you visit real quick, and it's kind of nice that it's near Riften. Riften is the home of the Thieves Guild. That would allow you to get through that part a bit easier. 60 seconds is quite a long time for invisibility. I'm in the early 20s, and I've seen invisibility potions that last 60 seconds, but for the most part I've only seen like 20-second ones. The 60s are a little rare. So again, that's right south of Riften. Riften is one of the cities that you can travel to by carriage. And for the 12th stone, we have the Ritual Stone. And this one I'm getting to so late just for happenstance of the way I went around the map. I kind of did a circle. It's actually probably one of the earlier ones that you find. This is Whiterun that's right next to it, and you can pretty much go straight east. You'll have to cross the river at some point. But the Ritual Stone is, a matter of fact, I can see Whiterun and specifically Dragon's Reach right there. The stone is a little bit south of the river. The river passes by just under it, and it's pretty obvious there's stairs, kind of a little Stonehenge-like formation. And then the Ritual Stone itself. The Ritual Stone allows you to reanimate nearby corpses to fight for you. Apparently this raises all dead around you to fight for you. I think they last 60 seconds, although I don't know. The guide actually doesn't say on that one. 60 seconds seems logical. But apparently it's multiple dead. I haven't tried this out yet. Having just realized that it's multiple dead bodies, I might have to try that out. This would be particularly useful on any kind of a boss fight, like the Red Eagle fight, where there are multiple enemies involved, where you have to kill a bunch of skeletons and then kill him. I guess you don't have to kill the skeletons first, but having like 4 skeleton archers on you while you try to fight Red Eagle is not fun. So this, I think, is another one of the abilities that, or another one of the stone signs that you would want to get to try to help you through a particularly tough area. And its extreme ease of access, being this close to Whiterun, makes it kind of a particularly accessible one to use for that purpose. This is protected by a caster. I've been here 2 separate times now, doing this video being the separate time, and each time the caster had respawned. Basically, he spawned here the first time and he was back just now, and it was a higher level caster because I'm higher level than I was before. Still fairly easy to take down. It was a necromancer both times, roughly my level, so just a little friendly warning. Last but not least, we have the Lady Stone. The Lady Stone is on an island right in the middle of Lake, I believe it's pronounced Irilith. You can kind of see the island here. The clouds obscure it a little bit, but it's this little, almost pointer-sized chunk of land right here, and it's pretty close to this southern shore. Although the slaughterfish aren't so much that it's not easy to get to from just about any direction on this lake. Of course, this is the lake that's just north of Falkreath. You can travel to Falkreath by carriage, and then pretty much just go straight north to that little island outside the lake. The Lady Stone makes your health and stamina regenerate 25% more quickly. This might be one of the ones that I would say people should probably run with all the time. This is probably a good option to go instead of trying to level up certain skills or all of your skills very quickly. And that concludes the full location of all 13 standing stones. Of course, remember the 3 guardian stones and then the 9 other locations. I'm sorry, 10 other locations. Basic math. I'm going to revisit the guardian stones real quick and then talk about them and the lover stone. Just because they're really attractive, but there's something to note about them. Alright, so I'm back at the Guardian Stones. As far as all of the skill increase bonus stones go, you gotta figure that there's a degree of balance in the game where if you level your skills up really quickly, any skills, you will level up real quickly, and generally if you weren't to level up so fast, that means that you'll go through more game content to get the levels. Going through more game content means that you're going to get more gold and more chance to get decent gear per any given level. So when you get the skill increase signs, you kind of pass up degrees of income and degrees of a chance, at least, to get better gear. Now, if you do something like use smithing, smithing, I've said before, is really easy to abuse in this game, just in that it's easy to pour gold into buying ore from, a trader, a vendor in the city, and then it's really easy to turn that ore into smithing skill, and it's really easy to turn that smithing skill with a little bit more money into really good armor, and it's really easy to keep your equipment kind of beyond your level if you use something like smithing. If you don't, however, you might want to consider not using these skill shrines, just because basically all you're doing is rushing into the game's scaling. As you level up, enemies get more difficult. Now, that only goes to about level 50. Beyond level 50, you just start becoming an absolute god. But up to level 50, enemies will continue to get difficult, and if you just rush that scale, that's the slider on that scale up, without hitting your gear and gold as hard, you can kind of come to more difficult parts of the game, especially on the harder difficulties. Now, something else to note about these skill increase standing signs is that they can be used in a different way really well. So if you're a warrior who is concerned about your restoration and you want to keep your restoration or your ability to heal yourself kind of on par throughout the game, then you might want to focus your warrior skills as far as using them, but keep the mage sign on so that your restoration can keep level with you. Or, even better, you could just grind it out in parts. You could get the mage sign and then go out to a part where you know it's just regular wolves and let the wolves attack you for a while and just continuously heal yourself with the mage sign on, just to kind of grind out experience in one skill group. And then, of course, the lever stone can be used to, if you have a multi-skill character. I'll give you the perfect example. The annotations should be on your screen right now that show you which skills go to which sign as far as combat magic and stealth. I'm an archer character, but other than archery, I use almost all stealth skills. I focus on the stealth skills. You'll notice that archery is not in the stealth tree, it's in the combat tree. So using the lover's stone allows me to kind of keep all of my various... I also use quite a bit of restoration, just because everybody should use restoration, it's great. So it's easy to keep my archery and restoration, my out-of-stealth skills, kind of even with my stealth skills, without, letting any fall in the dust. So overall, they can be great tools, but they can also be detrimental in a way. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the content, you think I've got good potential for future content, then go ahead and subscribe. I plan on doing, as time progresses, a lot more of this informational content, and not necessarily a lot less of my walkthrough, but I don't know, I don't foresee myself going much past the Mages Guild, and then probably a couple really neat quest chains. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya!